trois, quatre, cinq, six. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about our secular homeschooling routine, or I should say rather our lifestyle, and how we go about things in our day. So a little background, my son is 3 years old currently, and we are in this preschool homeschooling phase, and this is something that has been entirely new for us. And I want to say we've been doing this for about a year now, or like 8 months. It's been a really interesting journey because I'm learning different philosophies, and I'm learning different ways that accustom to my son and what is good for him. When I came across secular homeschooling, I found this term to be really interesting. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the term secular, it basically means non-religious. You know, it's really funny because the last thing that I like to do is put myself or my family under titles, but I came across this term, you know, called secular, and it really resonated with our family and our lifestyles. And you know, just being more involved in the homeschooling community, I found it to be very challenging because you know, you come across the stereotype with homeschooling and everything to be under Christianity. And so I guess I haven't experienced this too much because, you know, my son is still younger. He's only in the preschool phase. And it just seems like as your children get older, it becomes more challenging to find certain curriculums that are secular, non-religious, you know. So a little background behind our family and, you know, how we are teaching our son currently. A little bit about me. I grew up very religious, and I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. And if you are not familiar with this religion, you may see this religion as very radical and, you know, just a little over the top. You know, that's how a lot of outsiders kind of see this religion. But then my father was actually Catholic. So because of my upbringing, I really felt like I was, you know, exposed to different religions, and I was able to kind of be more open-minded. So that kind of helped me in a sense of expanding my knowledge and seeking other lifestyles and cultures and just truly being open to diversity. So as far as my partner, he grew up religious as well. He grew up going to Catholic schools, you know, and all that. You know, I never experienced Catholicism too much, you know, to see all of that. But as you can see, we both come from very religious backgrounds. Mind you, this video is very hard to do in a sense because I still have family members that are, you know, very involved in their religion, and to kind of expose myself and say that I am non-religious or I'm secular kind of makes it seem like I'm unholy, or that I'm choosing just a bad path. And you know, I wanted to speak up on this really, and I wanted to teach my son different ways because, you know, just because you're not religious doesn't mean that you're bad, or doesn't mean that you have no moral system or no value system. So just to kind of bring more light into this conversation, you know, we are not religious, but we are very spiritual beings, and we do have our own spiritual practices. And like I said, we're very open. Our family is very open. Like, we could still go to a Christian church, you know, we can go to a temple, you know, we are like just willing and accepting to hear others and still be involved to learn more knowledge and to understand someone's culture, be accepting of others, you know. So we are not against, you know, anyone's religion. We actually accept everyone for who they are. So I really consider us as omnists, you know, very open-minded, very diverse, and not religious, but very attentive to knowledge and what spirituality has to bring to our family. If you guys want a more in-depth video of why I chose this path, I would be happy to create a video on this. You know, I don't want to make this video just, you know, we are secular and this is why. I want to show you exactly like what we do during the day, and it's not that serious. Like, we don't you know, we're not like teaching like rituals or anything like that, but it's just very normal, I guess you can say, like just a day-to-day, a normal loving day-to-day lifestyle. Before I continue though, I am very big with mindfulness. I think that is something that I am driven towards teaching my child, is mindfulness, being aware of your surroundings, you know, being involved with good energy, how to feel good, you know, especially when you have moments where you are feeling bad, or, you know, you just have really down and you're just feeling negative, you know. So I'm very big with mindfulness and learning how to bring more positive energy into our day. Also, I'm a big believer with yogic philosophy, you know. I really love these practices that have been around for over 5,000 years, and I'm actually a yoga teacher as well, so that has a big influence on our lifestyle. So we are very big with love and expressing love. We are big with slow living, so living very intentional and really just doing things that feel right for us, that bring us lots of happiness, and slowing down when we need to, you know. I never want to do things that are rushed or make any of us feel like we have to do something when we don't like it. A little disclaimer here, I know that we don't live in a perfect world, and I don't have all the answers to life, I don't. But the whole point of this lifestyle is to, again, live intentional and do the best that we can. So, you know, this is our life, and I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say and what we do. Okay, so every morning we wake up around 8 o'clock. Again, every day is seriously different. Like, no day is ever the same. I will say that, but typically we wake up around 8 o'clock in the morning. I have my coffee, I will make breakfast. I will have Atlas, my son, you know, have his little morning time to just kind of wake up and, you know, watch some sort of educational shows. I want my son to feel comfortable when he wakes up. You know, I never want him to be like, we got to do this at 8:30 in the morning, get your clothes on, do this, do that. Like, we're going to go ahead and start on our work. Like, no. I want us to just wake up happy, wake up slow, and that way we feel good about our day and we can get everything that we need to do throughout the day done. I'm not against screen time at all. I do, however, balance things out with going outside and things like that. I will continue on with talking about educational shows or screen time. It's benefited my son in so many ways, I will say that. So continuing on with what else I like to teach is, I'm very big on multi-language, you know, learning languages, different languages. I have found that to be very important for me because growing up, I moved everywhere. I've been blessed in that way to have gone to so many states, lived in different areas every 3 years. I've been very blessed even as a young adult to travel to so many different countries and just travel a lot, okay? So I did that. I was such a big traveler. I still am. I found culture and language to be priority in our educational system, quote unquote. So technically, we start our morning around 10 in the morning. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely real with you. We start our day around 10 in the morning. It takes time to clean up, you know, wash the dishes. You know, there are many times where before we start school, we like to be out in the garden. We'll go outside. Atlas will help me water the plants. And a lot of times too, it's so nice because my partner, he has a very flexible schedule. So a lot of times he's home with us during the day as well. And so he's helping his dad out in the morning with the garden. And so that's kind of a typical morning situation there. So we're out, we just, you know, relaxed in the morning, we got our breakfast, we've done some garden time, and it's about 10 o'clock now, so we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit more creative now. So I would like to add that we are also unschoolers. If you guys do not know what that is, definitely go ahead and check out one of my videos on unschooling where I talk all about that. To kind of sum things down, it's basically, again, living very intentional and focusing on things that make us happy, things that make us feel good, you know? Learning is supposed to be fun for us in this household. So we are unschoolers, so that's something that's very important, and that is added over into our secular homeschooling lifestyle. You know, my son is only in preschool, so, you know, we don't take things so serious, like, oh my God, like he has to do this, he has to do that. You know, again, we are very relaxed in our household, and for me at this age right now, learning is becoming based off of observation. It's very spiritual in how we act towards each other. It's very hands-on, you know, like really getting involved in playtime and things like that, and helping out around the house too. But I'll go ahead and continue on with that. But that's basically how our curriculum is. We don't have a specific curriculum, and I'll go ahead and continue on about that more. So if dad is not home, we're still going out in the garden. So again, this could be around 10 in the morning, watering the grass. We are doing some planting. We are like teaching him, or I am teaching him what our plants' names are. There are times where we want to have extra fun and we're doing hula hoop. We're playing with our chalk. Every morning, Atlas picks our herbs for our tea for the day, and I find that to be very, very stimulating for him because he's like so involved in the process, and we show him how we make our teas in the morning. So that's really fun. We've also been growing things that he's familiarized with. So like strawberries, you know, we planted a strawberry plant, so he actually picks his own strawberries now, which is really cool. So over here in California, we live here in California. It's so nice right now, the weather, and it's springtime right now. So right now we're like bringing the blankets out. I have Atlas playing with his buttons. I have him, you know, reading books. We read together. We recently actually built a playhouse in the back. So I got like all our chairs, you know, from outside, our patio chairs, and I just got like this sheet, and I just made this cute little like clubhouse for him. You know, just making learning exciting. And so that's what I am all about, really, is like, again, making learning fun and meaningful. And these are things that we're going to remember forever, you know. So yeah, the other day, you know, I had all our curriculum out, so to speak. We did our gardening. I brought out the buttons for a little bit of sensory. Sometimes I'll bring out like rice and beans. I'll bring out little bowls. There are many times that we have painted outside as well. And yeah, just like reading together and making things very cozy, like bringing the blankets out, the pillows. And because of my personality, I myself am an organization freak. You know, again, I'm not big on like structured or like routine, so to speak, but I do like to have some sort of organization. So something planned out for the week, you know. And I have a bunch of things that I print out. I usually have tons of like free printables that I get from online, and I go ahead and just present them out to my child. I'll make things nice and cozy for us, just a nice, comfortable setting for learning. I'll bring out our curriculum for the week and things that I think my son will find exciting. So let me go ahead and show you that. This is my little homeschooling box. It's kind of unorganized at the moment, but let me show you like what I have in here and what we do, you know, on a daily basis, what we do weekly. Honestly, again, nothing is ever rushed. It's just things that I find that my son may be driven towards, and honestly, he's so up for the challenge that most times he's wanting to have a little bit more challenges, more stimulation. So I got these from the 99-cent store. These are like clear like sheet protectors, but they are dry erasable pockets, so you can actually like make your own little assignments for your preschooler, and you can just have your children kind of like do some markings, maybe do some traceable things and stuff like that. So I found this to be very helpful just because, you know, you don't have to waste as much paper. You can kind of, you know, continue the routine and change things up depending on like what you want to do. But I love to use this. This addition and subtraction like worksheet came with this protector right here. I'll show you what I actually use this for. So this is my son's binder, and you know, I like to just keep things exciting and organized for myself. This week I actually printed out a bunch of different things that I thought my son would be excited about. So let me show you what I've been doing. This is his curriculum. I make up his own curriculum as of now. We will see how things get as he gets a little older. But right now I'm doing his curriculum and he's learning so much, and I'm honestly just I'm printing things out, or I'm finding little activities based on what my child resonates with. So also, I'm very big with language, like I've been saying, so a lot of this stuff is very multi-language. So I printed out this sheet, this free download, and honestly, I just Google it and I go under images and I print these printables out. I don't have a specific website that I use, because before I would like look up websites, they would make me sign on to their newsletters, and honestly, there were times where I couldn't even print out free things. It was just a gimmick to make me purchase things. So I kind of learned my way into like just Googling and looking under Google Images and just finding free printables that way. So that's my tip on that. Right here, these are the numbers in Spanish, so 1 through 20. My son actually knows all his numbers 1 through 10 in English, Spanish, and French. But you know, it's just good. It's good to have as a refresher. So I really like having this just to keep refreshing the brain. So this is in Spanish. I have another Spanish worksheet here. So right here, this is just to identify the numbers. And so there are little circular shapes right here to identify. So uno, obviously, he would be like, oh, uno, like one little button or one circle. And then he would find cinco. He would find 5 of the circular shapes right here. So I thought this would be fun to identify things in Spanish. I also wanted my son to be more involved in just like conscious activities and experimenting with his body and getting used to his body, understanding his body and his energy. So I printed out this spring yoga pose form, and I thought this was really cute because it just shows, it's just a fun way to do yoga for kids. So for example, 1, say hello to the sun. 2, pretend to be a tree. 3, pretend to be a flying bird, and then so on and so on. So for me, I found this to be really fun because this is something that I already resonate with, and this is something that I'm already doing with my son, but you know, just to kind of keep things exciting. I also printed out an affirmations sheet just because I feel like it's so important to bring out the confidence in our children. I mean, there are times where I just had so much like low self-esteem as a kid, you know, and I never knew how to bring that awareness or attention to myself to feel better. And so I want to share these with my child to let him know, like, you know, if you're ever feeling down, like, it's just a feeling, this is temporary, and your feelings don't actually mean this. And you know, you are an amazing person, and it's okay. It's okay to feel these feelings, but you're going to get through it. So I find it to be very important to, you know, keep telling yourself positive things, because if you keep expressing positivity into your life, you will start to receive it. And I'm a big believer on that. So I have this cute positive affirmations sheet that I printed out. Again, I found this on Google Images. All I looked up was positive affirmations for toddlers. That's what I looked up, printed this baby out, and boom, here we go. So I believe in myself. My life is beautiful. I have a big heart. I am safe and cared for. And these are things that we should even be telling ourselves as parents, because, you know, let me tell you, there are days where, you know, you're even having a bad day yourself. We have bad moments all the time. So I really love this. I actually have created many affirmation sheets for my son before. You know, like I'll go ahead and color some things out for him, make it exciting with different colors, and he loves it. He seriously loves this. He gets so excited to tell me, to bring out his affirmation sheets to me, and I just thought this would be a fun little change up to bring out again just some different words of affirmations. So this right here, this is in French. These are just the colors in English and in French, and so I'm just gonna do a fun little activity with him and color the blue section. So for example, English blue, French bleu, English white, French blanc. So, you know, just kind of having like a little coloring activity to do in French. I also have the worksheet. I also have this French printable, again, numbers 1 through 20, and I just find this to be so good for their development and to just be culturally diverse. It's just so important to me. So he knows 1 through 10. We need to learn 10 through 20. So, you know, it's a working process right now. I have done days of the week with my son in English and in Spanish, but I haven't done it in French yet. So I went ahead and printed out the days of the week, but in French. And putting them in, you know, our sheet protector pocket. And, you know, he can also trace out with a dry erase marker and, you know, just keeping him stimulated in different ways. Right here, I wrote down like our home address. I'm not going to show you this paper, but I wrote down our home address. I'm trying to get him to learn our address. This is a new activity. I haven't done this with him yet. And then in English, Spanish, French, and for fun, Hindi, teaching him how to say, hello, my name is Atlas. And then in Spanish, hola, mi nombre es Atlas. And in French, bonjour, bonjour, je m'appelle Atlas. So, you know, just having him repeat these sentences to get him familiar with the words, the sentences, and to just have it, you know, stay in his mind. You know, this is the perfect age for them to learn language. They're like a sponge, you know, and again, it's important for me. And then I have like these tracing the numbers worksheets, you know, tracing the numbers out. Love planting and gardening, so I printed out a cute little floral worksheet for him to do. I have a mushroom one, which is so cute, very cottagecore. I have an identification worksheet for him. So again, this can be like a coloring project as well, you know, tracing and matching the numbers. Lo tengo en español también, so we have it in Spanish as well. Just learning some nice etiquette in Spanish and English. So, you know, learning just good mannerism in Spanish and English. So that's what I have so far. That's what I printed out for during the week, but this can be continuous through however long you want, just as long as it sticks in your child's brain, you know, and mixing it up with fun little activities. This is what we do. So with all these activities, there's nothing religious. It's just mindfulness based and working on your energy. So again, that's very important to me. Recently for activities, I've been bringing out like his train set bin. So I've been bringing that out for some balance, you know, just to change things up. I don't want him always, you know, doing worksheets and all that. I like to have balance and make sure that he's still having independent play and he's playing with his toys, you know, finding excitement within his toys and his own creative state, you know, working on his imagination and just learning with things that are right in front of him. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of Atlas's favorite books as of now. And you guys, we've been reading since he was like a little infant. I've been reading to him since forever. Again, he's been watching his little educational shows, and because of that, I'm not kidding, he's learned how to read since he was 2.5. Like, I've been mind blown by his I've just been mind blown by him because of how well he can read, how he can identify things. And that's why I'm not against screen time, because it's truly helped our family. It's also helped give myself a break when I needed it. And so And I'm not against it, because, you know, we need our time as well. As homeschooling parents, we're with our child all day, you know, and obviously I choose this lifestyle for a reason. But, you know, like, I like a balance, and so we read books. We have tons of books. So this is a book that I recently got him, and he loves it so much. Like, he just loves all the illustrations and all the colors in this book. And this is just a yoga book, so expressing yourself through yoga sun salutations. I mean, I love this book. It literally resonates with myself, with our family. We love yoga, and we find it to be very important for the mind and the body. So it's really cute. It's really, really cute. I got this one on Amazon. I'll just kind of show you a couple of pages, but it's just like, reach high as can be. Can you guys see that? And it's just really cute. It's just like, reach high as can be. And it's just a really cute illustration. So this is a yoga book here. I'm currently trying to potty train my son. I'm not going to lie, it's been very, very difficult. And, you know, you just can't have a perfect child. You know what I mean? Like, some kids pick it up so quick and some don't. And mind you, he's very capable. He's very capable of potty training. He just kind of refuses. And so I got him this book. And surprisingly, he really likes it. But for some reason, he gets shy. And I don't know where he picked that up from. But we got this book. We Poop on the Potty. And I think it's so funny, so clever, it's so creative, and this gives me a little bit of hope. Of course, I'm going to get more potty training books, but this one is really cool, and I just really like it. It's just a really cool book. He's been reading these Bob books. So since he was 2, he's been reading these Bob books. They're beginner reader books. And they're very simple, and honestly, he reads them with no problem. So this one is called Dot and the Dog. Very simple. Dog sat. Did Mag sit? You know, very simple, very easy for beginners. And so he reads these with no problem, but he still loves them. He still loves them, so if he loves them, I'm going to keep them. Again, we are big with language here, so he does have Spanish books. What I need to work on, though, is getting him more French books. So if you guys have any recommendations on that, please go ahead and drop a comment on some French beginner books, because, yeah, I haven't got him any French books, but I would like to. So we have this Spanish book. It's by Dr. Seuss. He loves Dr. Seuss books. And this one's just Huevos Verdes con Jamón. So he really loves this one. And it's funny because he's actually kind of picked up a little Spanish accent, because I'll kind of give it my all when I'm reading. And again, I think with teaching, it's all about like storytelling and like being very passionate with teaching as well, because if they see that energy that you give, they're going to be more excited to learn. And so me and my partner, we go all out when we read this. Like, we give a full accent and we just make it exciting. So we have this Dr. Seuss books. I just got him this new book. It's another Dr. Seuss book. It's called 10 Apples Up on Top. He already knows his numbers 1 through 10, but you know, it's exciting for him to kind of repeat, and he just gets so excited to read this book. Like, he's literally like, Mom, 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. Like, he's just, kids get so excited to express themselves. And yeah, I just really like this book. It's really cute. It's really fun. And reading all these books just make me laugh. Like, when I see these books as an adult, I just kind of chuckle. It's just so funny. So yeah, we are big on reading. We read every single day. Many times we read before bed as well. And you know, to take him away from his tablet, you know, I think it's good to like read before bed as well. So, you know, we got to change it up. You know, he has screen time, he has his tablets, and then he has, you know, actual homeschool, you know, learning different things, outdoor learning. But it's all a balance. It's all balance. So again, we are big with crafting. You know, we love to do crafting, painting. I just got him a really cute painter's robe, and I really like it. Just makes things more exciting for painting. For arts and crafts too, like if we're going on our nature walks, I like him to pick up rocks, like collecting rocks, collecting leaves, collecting sticks, and we'll like make things out of it. I'll go ahead and show you like the things that we've made for his room, but I like to hang up his like art pieces on the wall and just kind of like alternate and switch them out when needed. But we've made like some little stick decorations. I'm like looking at the wall because we have them hung up in the wall, but I'll go ahead and like take a clip so you can see that. So we're very big with art. We're huge with baking, getting really creative with our hands, and this is something that was entirely new for me. Like I didn't start learning to bake myself since like a year ago. Like I never baked as a kid too much, you know, and if we did, it was like literally instructions from a Pillsbury dough box, you know, but that was like the 90s for you, you know, most of the time. I've been picking up baking, and we've been making cupcakes. I've been making so much bread, and I think it's really good for his developmental state because now he can make those things when he's older. Like he can, you know, get up and make himself some food. He can bake himself. He can do things for himself. So I do like that with the Waldorf and Montessori principles is, you know, the whole idea with crafting and baking and getting excited to create, you know, with your hands, because think about it, we've done so much with our hands, not only our brain, but with our hands too, you know? Yeah, I think it's incredible when your child can have the best of both worlds, you know? They can have the academic side, but they can also have the practical side and learn hands-on things. And I think that is so important for humanity, is to have a balance. So around 12 o'clock, 1-ish, even maybe till 2 is around the time where he takes his nap. So he'll take a good solid hour nap, and that kind of gives us both a break. So around 2, we're basically done with homeschooling, you know, because we've already done like 3 to 4 hours of schooling, and we are very involved in our studies, whatever it is, whether it's creative or academically. Like we are involved, and we're taking breaks, we're having snacks, and I really feel like that's all my son really needs is just 3 to 4 hours, or maybe even less than that. But what I want to say is that, you know, school is like 2 to 3 hours tops, and school is honestly like all day. Like we're always learning constantly, and again, nothing is too structured, so it's not like, you know, it's not like from 7 to 2:30 or 7 to 3. You know, it's all day. It really is, and it depends on my child's mood and what he wants to learn, really, which is why we are big with unschooling, and it's really healthy for our family as well. So most times before bed, I like to do like my yogic practices, you know, just to have a moment for myself. But many times my son likes to be involved, and he wants to, you know, join along, which is fine. So he's learning then too, even at night. And it's funny because recently I was doing my yogic practices, and I was doing like yoga asana, like stretching out my body. But I really wanted something for my mental state. Like I just needed to like release stress, I guess. And I had my partner play the sound drum for me. And my son just farted. So my partner played the sound drum for me, and it was so nice, and just something that I really needed. And then my son was actually watching that, so he wanted to play the sound drum for me. And so I just feel like our kids are observers, you know, and they're constantly seeing what we're doing, and they're learning based on our actions, on what we say. So I think it's really important that, you know, as a family, you have a strong type of system, a value system, a moral system, or something that you feel is good for your family. You know? They're watching, kids are so smart. They know when you're exciting. They know when you're upset. They know when you're in a good mood. Like, they know it all. They see it. And it's just funny because before, when I started my homeschooling journey, like barely starting, I was kind of like freaked out in a way. I didn't even know if I was going to do homeschooling, to be honest. But when I was looking everything up, you know, I felt this sort of anxiety, like, oh my gosh, I have to have everything perfect, and I have to, you know, start at this time and end at this time. And so I realized, going in depth with my studies, is that nothing has to be perfect. And I have a video about this as well, like, don't stress about homeschooling. I'll link it somewhere over here. Where was I at? So yeah, I was kind of all over the place, like, where do I begin, and like, do I have to have all this perfect? And then I realized, you know, I had to ask myself deeply, like, what is our lifestyle and what do we want to teach our son? So alongside of this, you know, like I said, every day is different, and there are times where we take him out to the park, and if we can't take him out to the park, again, we have in the backyard, and we're all playing together and we're doing things together. I feel like learning is a constant thing, and we're constantly learning through every decision, every action. There's a lot to learn even about ourselves. Homeschooling doesn't also have to be here at home. Like, we're big explorers, and we're constantly taking our son to different places. Like, we've traveled with him so much already. Like, we've gone to different states, we've gone to different countries, and to me that's very important as well, you know, is having your child interact with the world and visually seeing like what this world is all about. And again, like, independently being you know, I'm huge on that, like discovering yourself, discovering what you like and enjoy. And for me, I just felt like that was important for our son, and again, because of that, I have seen him progress. Like, he's actually excited to learn like academic things now, because there's no pressure. There's no, you know, you're in trouble because you're not learning this the right way. Like, now he's just excited to learn everything because there was no pressure. And I love that. It doesn't mean that I'm not a discipliner or that I don't discipline my child. It just means that I understand how my child learns. I understand how we learn as a family. So if you guys want to see a whole disciplining video, again, I don't have all the answers in the world, but I do things that make sense, and I have good intention. And we literally live by the golden rule, you know, is be a good person. We believe in karma, you know. You know, you mess up, then yeah, you do things bad intentionally, then bad things are going to happen to you. It's just kind of like a trifecta. Things happen, you know, and a freaking domino effect if you let it be. So that's kind of how we do our homeschooling, secular homeschooling day-to-day routine / lifestyle. Again, we don't have a routine too much because we're unschoolers. I feel like I've been repeating myself, but that's kind of how we do our things, and I hope this was helpful. I hope that this gives you more confidence within your own journey to accept yourself, to be yourself, and not be afraid to say that you're a secular family, because that's something that I've struggled with so much, and to be honest, I still struggle with it, and I'm learning how to detach from that feeling. Welcome to our journey. I can't wait for you guys to see more videos on this topic, or if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you guys are new to this homeschooling journey, let me know what you've been into, what you've been researching, what catches your interests. You know, I'm very curious because I think we can all learn from each other. Like I said, this is still a fairly new process for our family, so we're still learning, you know, and it's really exciting, and I think we're doing the best thing for our family. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll definitely see you in the next one, and thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, please go ahead and share it with your friends that are also in the same path, and please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you feel called to this journey, and if you have interest in what I have to say and how we do things in our homeschool. So thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Once again, bye now.